Hello, hello, hello. I've not been on here for such a long time. I have been so much going on with houses and packaging and viewings and God knows what else. And I have been doing a couple of things on TikTok, but I thought I'd come on here today because, firstly, how is everybody? Hope you're all good, and I hope you are all having a wonderful day, evening, night, middle of the night, whatever time you may be watching this. Enzo is here with me, as you can see. He's nice and calm because it's the middle of the afternoon. We had a big walk this morning, so he's overjoyed the fact that he can, get on the bed. You know he loves it up here. So yeah, I thought I would come on. Oh, Enzo, I don't think anyone wants to see you doing that on camera. Thank you very much. No. Stop. Behave. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. So I thought I would come on to talk about, has anyone ever heard of or had, I know there's going to be a lot of you who've had it, whether a lot of people have heard of it, I'm not sure, plantar fasciitis, I never know how to say it. I used to pronounce it plantar fasciitis until I realised it was two I's. I always thought it was an I and an L. Anyway, it's plantar fasciitis. And basically, I can't even explain it to you. I don't know how you get it. I don't know what happens to your feet when you actually get it. But it is the most painful, uncomfortable, just horrible thing ever. And for the people who've got it or people who've had it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So I'm not sure when mine started. I'm really sorry if you can hear him in the background. He will settle in a minute. He's just having a little fidget and just doing what dogs do. I'm not sure how it actually came about. I can probably put it down to a few things. Back when we had COVID, more than many years ago, I decided to do I found a YouTube video, and I used to do indoor walking to a very old-fashioned lady who I did actually think was very good, Leslie Sansom, I can't remember her surname, Sansom, Walk at Home, I think it was called. And I used to do it religiously. Every single day I used to do half an hour at least, or sometimes I'd do an hour. And it's basically walk at home. You literally walk on the spot. You do side steps, you do back steps, you pull your knees up. It's actually really good. It's really good. But I used to do it initially I used to do it in bare feet on a hardwood floor. Then I did it in Vans, of all things. Can you imagine? I mean, Vans are literally just dead flat. There's no support in them. There's nothing to cushion your feet on that floor. That's what I used to do. And my feet were actually okay at the time. They weren't too bad, but I think I must have done something to them while I was doing all this walking indoors. I did eventually get trainers, and I couldn't believe how much better it was in trainers. I used to do that. I've always walked around barefoot, always. I love walking around barefoot. Josh hates it. He's always like, get something on your feet. But I love to walk barefoot, so I've always walked barefoot. I can't bear slippers. I've got socks on now because it's cold today, but normally I can't bear anything on my feet. The other thing was as well, I had a small little part-time job, probably, God, I don't even know how long ago it was now after COVID. I don't even know, maybe a year and a half, 2 years. But I'm used to working on my feet. I've worked on my feet my whole working life prior to me not working. But I was obviously on my feet for like 5 hours a day. And I was fine when I was on my feet. The minute I came home, sat down, watched a bit of TV, had a brew, whatever, watching me get up and put weight on my feet was just horrendous. Like, I honestly, it's the hardest thing to explain. It's like you can't put weight down on your feet on the floor, and you're literally walking like you are actually crippled. Like, it's horrible. It is horrible. And getting up in the morning, that was another really awful thing, because if you needed a wee and you needed to be quick, you couldn't. You just literally had to try and hobble as best you could to get to the bathroom. It was just awful, and it was really depressing me. And like I say, I don't know what the medical terminology of what it is that's happening to your foot. Mine was in my heel. It was literally my heels. And I joined lots of Facebook groups to try and get advice and tips, and just to see what other people were doing. They would tell you to get these certain trainers. Is it Hockers and Brooks, and what's the other one? All super ugly trainers at ridiculous prices. Like, if you're paying a lot of money for a pair of trainers, you want something that at least looks nice. They were awful. They were the most ugliest looking trainers ever in the world, and I didn't get any, because 9 times out of 10 you get comments saying, oh yeah, these were amazing, these really work, please get them, and then you get another 10 comments saying these were absolutely awful, total waste of money. So is it Vionics? That was the other one, Vionics. Yeah, loads of different trainers that people were recommending, and other things, chiropody visits, or acupuncture, reflexology, so many different things that people would say to use. Bandage. What was the other one? Was it bandaging? It wasn't called bandaging. There's an actual terminology. I should have actually done a little refresh in my head before I started talking about this, because I've spent hours on Facebook just looking at all these different things that you can do. Another thing that people would talk about, and I consequently found out after that, obviously this group, it wasn't just a UK group, it was kind of like worldwide. There was a lot of people talking about, oh, just go and get an injection in your foot. It's the best thing I ever did. I went to my surgery and I did this and did that. And I'm looking thinking, these people cannot be in the UK, because you cannot get a hydrocortisone injection for love nor money here unless you're on a waiting list for about a year. So after messaging these people, I found out, yeah, they were in America, I think, and they used to just go along and just get an injection in their feet, and that was that. So I don't know whether it worked or whether it didn't work. I think some people came on there and said, oh no, it was awful, it made my feet worse. Anyway, after talking all about that, I was suffering with this for quite a while, and like I say, it was weighing me down, because even walking Enzo, it was getting to the point where when I was actually walking, it was fine. But then the coming home later, the sitting down and then trying to get up. And the more you'd done in the day, the worse. Cockeyed glasses again. I've sat talking to you for 8 minutes with cockeyed glasses. The worse it would be when you went to get up. So it was really stressing me out, because I like to give him 2 good long walks a day. And it was, I was kind of like not doing it as much for him, and I thought he shouldn't be suffering because I've got dicky feet. Do you know what I mean? He's a 2-year-old Weimaraner who needs his exercise. Anyway, things kept popping up on not just about plantar fasciitis, but I would see things on YouTube where people had used castor oil for lots of different things, and then it started to pop up on one of the Facebook groups that somebody had used castor oil. And I was thinking, how the hell is castor oil going to do anything? If people are having all these things, like some people are actually having medical procedures where I don't even know feet things, but apparently you cut the plantar, whatever that is, and release it. And people were having medical procedures, and it seemed to be something that kind of was just, you go to your GP. I did actually, sorry, I'm going all around the world with this story, but I did actually go to my GP about it. He didn't look at my feet or anything. I think I explained my symptoms, and he just said, yeah, probably got plantar fasciitis. I'll send you a link for you to do some foot exercises with a roller. And that was all. That was all I got off him. And it was awful. It was really depressing me. So anyway, fast forward, castor oil. How can this work? So I thought, you know what? I'm not going to spend stupid money on trainers. I'm obviously not going down a medical route. Let's try the castor oil. So I ordered the castor oil off eBay and new obviously from my site, and I got some compression socks. Josh had got me some compression socks initially before the castor oil, and I used to wear them when I was walking. Didn't really help massively, but I always used to put them on when I went walking, but then I would have to take them off after because they used to drive me insane. It's like your foot was in a vice. But I started to use the castor oil. So every evening before I went to bed, last thing, so do your teeth, do everything you need to do before you're actually putting your feet in the bed, so you don't have to get up again. And then I used to sit on the side of the bed with an old towel, because obviously it's oil, it's castor oil, it's quite thick and gloopy. I'll show you in a minute. Rub it into my heels. I would rub it into both heels. Then I would just put any old pair of thick socks on. And don't be precious about your bedding. Do not be, if you've got good bedding, then maybe not use your good bedding while you're doing this, because obviously it is oil, it's grease. So, and then I would go to bed. I would literally put my feet under the covers and I'd go to bed, and at some point during the night I would rip the socks off, because like I explained, I can't bear anything on my feet, particularly not in bed. So I did used to stick it out as long as I could, and I kid you not, within 3 days I was getting up in the morning, and no longer was I sitting on the bed geeing myself up to put my feet on the floor ready to get up to grimace the pain. I was putting my feet on the floor and just literally standing straight up and walking to the bathroom. And I was thinking, this must just be fluke. It must be fluke. How can castor oil be doing this? So I carried it on. Probably, I did it for about a month. I would still wear the compression socks. Sometimes in the day I would put it on in the day. I'd put a bit on in the morning, put my compression socks on, and then put my old socks on, and I'd go take Enzo for a walk, and I'd leave them on for a bit, and then when I came home I'd take it all off again. So yeah, I did it for about a month. Not every day, but every night. And then some nights I would forget, and it got to the point where I just wasn't doing it because I haven't got it anymore. It's gone. It's just gone. And I am amazed. So if you're going to try this, anybody who's got plantar fasciitis, please, please, please. It's so cheap. I think this was about £10. So you need to get an amber glass. This is really dusty. Can you see? Because I'm not using it anymore, and there's hardly anything left in this. An amber glass bottle. Apparently the amber, it's got to be glass, it can't be plastic, it has to be glass. And the amber apparently keeps it from any light penetrating in. It's all very quite scientific. This is organic and it is cold pressed. It's 100% pure, cold pressed, organic castor oil in an amber glass bottle. Try and get one with a pump dispenser, because it's a hell of a lot easier and it's not as messy, because you can literally just pump, and then obviously instead of tipping and then you're trying to figure out what to do and it's all running, you can do that quite easily with a pump dispenser. So yeah, give that a try. It's amazing. Compression socks, just, I think these were from Amazon. Yeah, heel goes there, obviously your toes pop out, but they are really compression. That's what they've got to keep everything tight. But that's all I used, and I swear to God it worked. So yeah, I can back to now. Don't get me wrong, every now and again I will, it's quite hot. Sometimes I get like not the pain, but I get a feeling sometimes when I stand up, but compared to what I had, absolutely nothing like it was. I'm back to walking barefoot in the house most of the time. I'm back to wearing my Birkenstocks, because I wasn't sure if it was the Birkenstocks that were doing it, but I don't think it was. And I just wear a pair of cheap old Under Armour trainers when I'm walking Enzo. So yeah, I did worry when I was getting married, wedding shoes, because I thought, oh, it's going to flare it up again. But no, I just wore like some small heeled, I'm not a heels girl anyway. I just wore some small heeled shoes and my feet were fine, although they obviously were achy. But now it's like, it's mad, isn't it? Your body has something, and I feel like once you've got rid of something, it replaces it with something else, especially in your older years. That's what I'm finding. So while my foot thing was going on, I also had, so I've got arthritis in my knee. I also had a meniscus tear in my knee. I'm not sure which hurts the most. I take painkillers most days, but that's kind of, but I don't know if it's the tear or the arthritis, I'm not sure. But anyway, long story short, went to the doctors, I think, with my knee. And while I was there, I mentioned that my big toe, so my big toe felt numb. It just felt numb. It felt strange. I would dig my nail into my thumb and it was like I couldn't feel it. So he referred me to the hospital to get, I think it was, I'm not sure, I want to say it was an EMT. That might be totally wrong. It was an electronic something or other. I'm sure it was EMT, but I have no clue what the EMT stands for. But anyway, they checked the nerves in your legs. So they will put these things on your legs, all the way down your leg, and they'd send a signal down it to see if it was hitting nerves anywhere else, if that makes sense. It was a little bit uncomfortable. But anyway, the results came back and apparently there was nothing wrong with my big toe. I rang the doctor to discuss it with him and he said, yeah, it's probably just arthritis. Again, probably that. GPs, really, honestly, I'm not a fan of them, but apparently, yeah, because I've got arthritis in my knees, it's a high chance I've got it in my big toe. And now the other big toe is coming out of sympathy because it feels the same. And it's the worst feeling. It's like it's numb, but it hurts at the same time. So how can it hurt and it be numb? But it is really starting to get on my nerves. It's peeing me off. I just want normal feet. Obviously my heels are okay, but I just feel like age is just such a shocking thing, isn't it? Like everything just seems to just go wrong. Not go wrong, but deteriorate, which is understandable. And as I've said before on this video, on one of these videos, you know, I hope that you've got your skeleton, you've got all your internal organs, and you've got your brain. And really, if it's just your skeleton that's causing you issues with aches and pains and arthritis, then I feel like you are very blessed, very blessed. If that's the only thing after so many years on the planet, I'm hunched, that's starting to deteriorate with age, then I suppose there's nothing else you can do about it. So I should be thankful. Thank my lucky stars that all the other things I have are all good. Touch wood, touch wood. But yeah, that's my little moan about my toes. But yeah, if you're suffering from plantar fasciitis, please use the castor oil. You've literally got nothing to lose. You're not like spending £150 on a pair of trainers that won't work. You're spending £10 max on a bottle of castor oil and some compression socks, which I think were about £4. Give it a go because it does actually work. It really does work. Speaking of things that work, just while I'm on here and I've spotted it, I ordered this from Temu a couple of weeks ago for hard skin on my heels. Can I just say, do not order this. If you see this on Temu, just bypass it. It is absolutely crap. So it's awful. It's got as much power in it, I think, as me blowing like that. Yeah, please bypass this totally. It's rubbish. Anyway, I'm gonna go. I have got an oven to clean. I have sprayed my oven with Mr. Muscle, and it's great, isn't it? You spray it and you close the door and then you kind of forget about it, but I know it's down there now doing its stuff and I've got to go down and do the worst bit, so I'm gonna go and do it. I hope you are all keeping well, and I will talk to you all soon. But if you've got any questions or any stories about your plantar, please pop it in the comments and I will answer you. And if you liked it, please give me a thumbs up and I will talk to you all again soon. Take care. Bye bye. Well, that didn't work, did it?